being a douchebag, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this guy.
what's up with his face?
This is my voice for this guy.
Okay, do you want to do it?
Okay, yeah, sure, go.
So, you will tell us your name and occupation. Anytime now, dude.
My name is Wesley Stickler.
It's because he's got a stick up his ass.
By occupation, the professor. I forgot he's a blabbermouth.
Hello, Mr. Knowles.
We must acknowledge the true identity which is attached to the meaning of occupation. Once the confusion that the vagueness in the oh god.
By which he means to say that he's a student. He's only a student?
Yeah.
A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Why is he in graduation gowns?
Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity of things, I spend in my days pursuit of truth, honing my.
Herr Stickler, please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today. Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime.
You ask, quite simply, what I saw. I understand that Homo sapiens, these designed to retreat the. Oh God.
Witness testimony, a night in the park.
That night, I passed through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, the other man facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It pointed to the man pulling the stand. A shot! The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead.
Was he shot in the head?
Or the chest.
I feel like that's the contradiction.
Maybe.
Was there anyone else in the park at the time?
I can say with 100% accuracy that there was not.
The pistol our witness refers to is this. The court accepts this into evidence. Pistol added to the record. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination. I didn't read that right. Yes, Your Honor. Trucy, why are you staring at the witness? That man. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before.
Dun, dun.
Cross-examination, night in the park.
That night.
Let's look at where he was shot.
Dun, dun,
He was shot in the right temple.
Okay.
So that's already wrong right there.
Square in the forehead.
Hey, asshole. Look at...
I know all. I see all.
This.
I see everything.
Square in the forehead. Haha. Take that! Music stopped.
Yeah. That's how you know if it's good or not.
Unless it's like, it gets super intense and then music doesn't even stop then. Okay. If that's all of it, I think I have a chance. Is that you relaxing, I see, Herr Justice? Huh? Oh, objection! Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice. Apollo, pace yourself. This trial's not over yet. Right. Look at this.
He sucks as a lawyer.
This is only a second trial. The autopsy report. Is there a problem with the autopsy report? Right, a problem. Problem. Yes! The problem is the location of the entry wound. The location? You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not?
Ah, I've already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It was quite simple, really. First explain the square. I speak absolute. Why you ask this? For example, the wavelength of the key. Oh God, shut the fuck up. I have to appear to. Oh God, I'm lost.
Mr. Justice. Yes. Was your objection to these krypton particle things? This is a Um, it's so hard to switch between his voice and the judges.
I'm so sorry.
This is big time. You are obsessed with something so small, you disappoint me. No, I'm obsessed with something big. I mean,
Dick.
your big dick. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here. Do tell. Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple.
The temple?
Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it?
Well, you should know, Mr. Lawyer.
It is, right? Finally. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
It's so much deeper than I thought it'd be. Okay. Hair Justice. Oh, Hair Justice. It's my next song. Yes? Your tactics are outdated. Tried to shake the witness by objecting to trifles? Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago.
Oh.
Oh, low blow, Clavier.
Boo.
Such
Although, he is a jerk now.
Such
So.
a douchebag. Phoenix Wright, was it?
Wright is a douchebag.
Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to this testimony.
Yeah.
Hey, Hair Phil. Did he call him that before?
No.
Oh.
This is the first, and he's gonna keep doing it.
Hey, Hair Forehead. Forehead? Let us imagine you are walking through the park. You see two men facing each other, one with a pistol trained on the other. What would you do, Hair Forehead? I'm in 3rd grade and I give stupid insults like Hair Forehead.
Ha ha.
Well, I guess I would try to stop them. I'd probably shout stop. And you, Fräulein? Me? Well, I'd probably scream eek. And you, Hair Stickler? What did you shout, I wonder? Ah! If the victim turned his head at the last moment. Gulp.
Oh, yes. Thank you for jogging my memory. There's a little runner in his memory jogging, and he found it.
It sounds like the addendum to the testimony is required. Witness testimony and Night in the Park 2.
Oh, God.
The sequel.
As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Seize this as once, you two, I cried, with composure. You looked like some kind of wizard just there. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
Could you see a contradiction?
Tossing the pistol?
Yeah, maybe. I see. So you attempted to stop the crime.
Indeed, with composure.
Well, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if he hadn't shouted like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram, if you would.
I think the diagram may help.
The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it, stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of this nature. And the victim responded by looking in the witness's direction. If the killer were to have fired at just that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple, as in the report. That does seem to be the case.
Witness the power of a junior in Ivy University Department of Science.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination.
God, I forgot how much I hate everybody in this game.
Cross-examination. So should we, press them or? Well, okay, let's look at
Well, what do we have?
the pistol. Weapon left at the scene of the crime. 2 rounds were fired, fingerprints were wet. 2 rounds were fired.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that'll become important later, but we can't really prove anything right now. Unless it was the gun that shot Walkie Kataki. Solve the case.
Then, not guilty. You might need to press, maybe?
Yeah, probably. Okay. I want to know what this phone is. Okay. So you saw a raised pistol. Weren't you frightened?
It can't be said we students of Ivy University know no fear. Slam! The moment I saw the pistol, my inner sense of justice compelled me to take action. He's like praying to God or something, like...
That was certainly brave of you. You might have gotten shot. You certainly were lucky. If I were in the killer's shoes, I certainly wouldn't have left a witness behind. I'm alluding to the fact that I've killed a man before.
Oh my god. Oh,
He actually
That
looks
face.
like he has no idea he was in danger.
that face. Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed. He looks like some kind of, like, priest or something instead of a student.
Are you sure both men were able to hear your voice?
They were, of course. My high, exquisite voice, exquisitive?
Exquisite.
Exquisite voice echoed through the park.
And the victim responded to that clarion call. Clarion.
Quite.
Victim turned in direction of my voice.
Look at his eyes, it's so disgusting.
His face is so thin.
Mm.
It's a little unnerving. Did you hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned?
Indeed, I would say about the same time, to be precise.
And the victim didn't ask you for help?
It can't be said that he didn't have the time to ask. He didn't even have the time to take a single step.
I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him.
Don't say that too loudly, Trucy, please.
Where? Oh.
Upon our cowardly killer, the defendant appeared to have become frightened. Can you describe the killer's actions more clearly?
He seemed to be surprised, especially considering that he was the one who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is tangled web, indeed.
He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shot, he panicked. A common tale, but true.
Unfortunately, before I could take further action, it might be the pistol because it was 2 shots.
Shot.
Shot.
Everybody! You didn't try to apprehend the criminal?
It all happened so fast. I'm afraid I hadn't the time.
Doesn't something seem about that strike you as odd, Apollo?
What?
The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away.
According to the testimony, that's what happened, yeah?
In that case, I expect to find something that we didn't find.
Find something? Find what?
Oh, the pistol wasn't there.
Yeah, it was. It said it was found on the crime
Oh,
scene.
never mind.
I like that contradiction. Kinda sad to see it go.
Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now?
At least the testimony's getting a little clearer.
She's right. Maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony.
So I think it's the pistol for the very last one.
Tossing the pistol aside, he felt the scene.
So where's the second bullet? I think that's what she's thinking.
Okay, we'll see.
Yay! Booyah!
Wait a second.
Tisk tisk, another misleading request. Yet ye are so beholden
Beholden.
beholden to your own mode of discourse. You can't see how it affects you. I can't read.
Come again?
Wait a second, you say. A second? We intend to wait just that single second, 1/16th of a minute. It's hardly enough time to draw a breath, yet alone make a statement in the court. Now you have asked for a longer period of time, say 3 seconds.
Mr. Justice,
Yes, Your Honor.
am I to understand you are objecting to the length of a second?
Yes. I mean, no. Here, just look at this pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it.
Oh.
He couldn't have time to wipe it off or whatever. I don't know.
That's right. Okay. Ah, a common ploy made by the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints.
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints.
No!
He does look like a wizard.
The little girl sticking it to the university student.
I should have gave him a Professor Snape voice.
There's a song in there.
I'm not little.
Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fräulein?
Huh?
What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves?
Gotta admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo.
Oh, thanks a lot, Trucy. Well, Mr. Justice,
Could the killer have been wearing gloves? No, because the knife was left. Oh, wait, but then his fingerprints could have been there before that.
True. I don't remember the answer to this.
Should we just try the knife?
Yeah, maybe.
I guess.
No way. Wait, I guess he was wearing gloves, or no way
he could have
wasn't?
been wearing. Oh yeah, no way he could have been wearing gloves. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing: the fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remained, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you said it did, he wouldn't have time to wipe the pistol.
Oh. That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous pistol from his hand and fled. He's crying.
Oh.
And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime.
Did you read this?
Yeah. Strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of.
that sounds solid to me. Well, Herr Forehead, any of your precious objections?
What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training go to work. You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say.
Dumbass.
What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he restated what he saw just now, he said he saw Walkie drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Walkie threw away. You're right. He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. He must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong.
Well, it can't be said that I'm quite offended.
Oh, you could hear me?
Yes. Well, it sees the teacher, the
Blah, blah,
appreciation
blah,
of
blah,
my
blah.
poor.
What we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this?
Well, if what he threw away wasn't a pistol, then it had to be something else.
She's doing all the work for you.
Yeah, and Phoenix Wright did all the work for him last time. Apollo, do
And
something.
Maya does all the work for Phoenix, right?
Or Mia. at
It's a
least.
pattern.
At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking.
He agrees.
I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin.
I'm gonna sit on the floor.
Perhaps you can inform the court as the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw before fleeing the scene?
The knife! The knife!
Is that a sword? I saw one of those on the late night movie last night.
What was it, samurai? Whatever it's called?
Steel Samurai.
Steel samurai! Ah!
Great, a sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it.
His prints?
This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves.
Two, that the witness was stupid.
Indeed. Oh, hair forehead. You're forgetting two other things you've just proven.
Huh?
One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Walkie-Talkie. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife, with the intent of harming the victim.
No!
Yeah, you just screwed him
Indeed.
over.
Never underestimate a Gavin in the lesson here.
This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
I want to get this guy off the stand. Give me a new witness.
No, he's the only witness.
Is he really?
I think so. It is always the
this
same
sucks.
with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Why is he crying?
It's so beautiful.
But it's like a math problem. Assuming.
Beautiful math problem.
Yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if you were a probable situation at all, if that was a problem. Yet, here you are assuming that my assumption is no better.
Oh, we hurt his feelings.
Well, fuck him.
What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired.